Good morning. How is everyone today? I'm feeling fantastic, super excited for today. I am just going to share this link and then started. So say hi if you're here. Give me a hello if you're here. Let me know you're here. Let me know where you're from. Whoa, that was creepy. Nothing like hearing yourself and not knowing where it was coming from. All right, so super, super cool today. We have so many messages and so many things coming through, and there's so many questions. So if you have questions, I'm going to encourage you to drop them in the chat today while you're watching me live. That way you can get answers immediately. 2 seconds, it's hard for me to do more than one thing at a time. Maybe I need to do some reprogramming around that. All right, so with that said, I am Michelle Fries. I am a spiritual results coach. I help people stop settling and claim what they desire in their lives, claim wealth, claim health, heal their hearts, heal their minds, heal their spirit, heal their soul. I help people get what they want, and quite often, just about every freaking time, this is things that they don't believe that they deserve, and that's exactly why the universe isn't serving it. Maybe you believe it on a conscious level, but an unconscious level is the energy that is actually creating your reality. So just a little recap from yesterday. Today, let's just get started with questions that I had coming in. Questions that I had coming in. So I had people asking me, and this was a heated subject, why would I hire you to help me with my marriage if you've never been married? Now, first off, if I were coaching you, I would tell you to let go of that judgment because it's not serving you. Second off, you can choose to hire whoever you desire. So pick somebody who vibes with you, whether that's me or somebody else, but please at least get the help. And third, I don't have a cookie cutter method for anybody to get anything. It is different for every single person who comes to me. If every person who came to me all wanted $1,000, it would be a completely different answer that I would receive intuitively in order for them to receive it. It's an energetic shift that I work on. Everything is energy. Yes, I do some intuitive coaching. Yes, I will hear something that, is going to help you create the shift and you can consciously apply it. But ultimately, the reprogramming of the brain and the brain shifts and the changes and the mindset shifts and the energetic clearing of all the past, which is actually what's creating your reality. The past experiences, what you learned from ages 0 to 7 about what marriage looks like, all of that is what's currently creating your reality. That's what I'm more concerned about, because when we shift your energy, so basically what happens is I get, you tell me what you want, and then I get answers based on an energetic shift on what's required to get there. And when you create the energetic shift, all of a sudden, whatever it is that you desire is going to come in because you're energetically, unconsciously creating your lives. The majority of your life is, and everybody, it's a controversial thing, but it's in like the high 90%, the majority of your life is created unconsciously. Your subconscious mind is creating your reality. Your subconscious mind knows every face in every crowd, every event, every trauma, everything you've ever seen. And from ages 0 to 7, you're in a state of hypnosis where you're like a sponge. You're this little sponge that is just absorbing information and creating all of these perceptions. And it's actually so magnificent, because the amount that you can learn in those ages when you're in that state is exactly why kids are so powerful and so amazing and can do so many things. And that sticks with us. And every single one of those beliefs or those perceptions or whatever it is that you receive at that age is recreated over and over and over and over and over again throughout your entire life. And so that reinforces itself, and it gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. So when we go in and we remove it at the root of where you received it energetically, yes, energetically is a little bit tricky for some of you because you're just new to me, you're just getting here, but I encourage you to reach out if you have questions, like because you're brand new and some of the stuff that I'm talking about you just don't quite get yet. Reach out. There's material in various places. I could probably point you in the right direction. I can get you the information you need to get the answers that you seek without going into all the details right here. But however, the whole question around the marriage thing, I work on an energetic level. I'm not giving you a cookie cutter that says, do this, now say this, now do this, now say this. I'm giving you tools, new ways of being. I would be giving you ways to receive answers yourself, energetic shifts, which are absolutely huge. And when you do those, that leads me to my next question. And it was, I don't quite remember the question, but it was something around, how do I change so-and-so because there's something wrong with so-and-so? Well, I invite you to look at what you consider a problem as an opportunity for you to look at yourself. And when you look at yourself, I invite you to have a look and see if there's anything that you don't like about that person within. This is going to be tricky because obviously the truth is anything that we love about ourselves, anything that we love about somebody else, we actually have within us. We have that energy within us, whether we believe it or not, that exists within us. If, just like yesterday when I talked about the jealousy thing, if you are jealous about something, look at it as an opportunity because that exists within you and you could have that. The only reason you're jealous is because it's showing up as like, I need to get rid of something to be able to have that. And that's your way of knowing. That is your sign. And if there's something you dislike about somebody, this is the hard one. And I don't even want to speak into it that it's hard, but this is the one that is tricky for people to see. If there's something you don't like about somebody else, there's a very freaking good chance that it exists within you. Like 110% chance that it exists within you. Because if it didn't exist within you, it wouldn't be in your orbit. You wouldn't have that button. You wouldn't be triggered by it. Now, the best way to change somebody else is to shift yourself. If you create an energetic shift within yourself, I guarantee you that your entire world around you will shift. The whole world around you will shift because they unconsciously raise their vibration based on the vibrations around them, and it brings everybody up. So that's like, when somebody walks into the room, they're just like, woo, and they got like the best energy ever. And then all of a sudden, everybody has the best energy ever. Same thing. You create the energetic shift. It's a permanent energetic shift. You create the energetic shift, and everybody around you starts to shift. You start getting rid of things that are creating those realities and situations in your life that you do not desire, the way you're being treated, how people are showing up, whatever that is, you start looking at that, you start creating an energetic shift around that, and those people will either show up better or go away, one or the other. But I guarantee you that whatever comes in to replace it, or whichever way that they start showing up, is going to be better. That's why the same person who is a complete asshole to somebody can be a complete gentleman to the next, or vice versa, right? Because they are reacting to that person's energy. And most often it's on an unconscious level. They don't even know why, but they just can't freaking stand that person. Or they don't know why, but they just bring out this side in me, or whatever it is. That's energetically happening. So shift yourself, shift your reality, shift your world around you, change your story, change your life. I think there was one other question and I meant to write it down. What was it? Oh, it was the same, right? That's why I didn't. It was the same thing. You know, if you don't have $1 billion, how do you coach somebody to get $1 billion? It's the exact same thing. It's an energetic shift. I will be able to look at your situation where you are right now. It doesn't matter. I have people in my programs. Sometimes, you know, this person's at 0, sometimes this person's at 1 million. It doesn't really matter. It's the same stuff. It's the same not enoughness. It's the same not worthiness. It's just a different level. Yes, sometimes they go into different programs based on their energetic frequency, but no matter what, if you're coming into it, it's right and perfect for you. And just trust that if you're being guided to something, don't let your judgment, don't let your programs, I call them programs running in your subconscious, tell you that, you know, you won't fit in there, you don't belong. If you're being guided to anybody's stuff anywhere, not just mine, don't let any fear or anything like that talk you out of it, because that's just your programs trying to keep you safe, right? And maybe that coach or that course or whatever it is turns to be like absolute crap and you hated every second of it and it wasn't what you wanted. If you turn that into an opportunity and you get to look at it and say, at least I learned what I don't want, at least I learned what I don't need. That's what I did with my relationships, with everything I've been through. It's actually a blessing because it taught me how I want to be loved, how I want to be treated, how I want to be looked at, how I want to live, how I want to feel. And all of those things I learned. And when I learned all of those things, now it's much easier for me to energetically, or to be coached by my coaches and mentors around love or business or whatever it is. It's all the same, but they all can give me, like, I have a goal. This is what I desire. And quite often, whatever you don't want, the exact opposite is what you truly desire. So when you focus on what you want, that's how you get it. And yes, you know, I do read books and I do get coached and I do take trainings and I do go to a lot of courses. So yes, I'm going to apply that knowledge on marriage or money or whatever it is and give you the techniques and tricks and tips to do it. But the energetic shift is the unseen, the unimaginable, and where the magic happens. And then you get to take the tips and tricks and apply it to your life and continuously get energetic shifts to support you, or whatever it is that's required. In my world, anyways, that's how it works. And I find the energetic shifts are what makes it easy. When you create energetic shifts and you create brain change and you put new programs into your computer, all of a sudden, you're not consciously choosing over and over and over again not to do that, because it will just keep coming up. Do this, react like this, feel this way. It will continuously come up until you create the change in the computer system that is actually running your world. So when you hack it, basically, you know, in a good way, right? When you go in and do that and give yourself an upgrade, that's when it becomes easy. That's when it gets easy. That's when things start happening instantaneously. So hopefully I answered your questions. If I didn't answer your questions, you know, ultimately pick someone who feels right with you. If I feel right to you and it's just those little judgments getting in your way, that's an opportunity for you to shift and learn around the limitations that you are creating in your life around judgments, perceptions. Just put your hand on your heart and ask. It's a yes or no answer. It's really that simple. And I'll teach you guys that today. And I'm hearing, just to touch base on, and I think I've already said this, but I'll just reiterate it. You don't have a relationship problem. You don't have a money problem. You don't have a health problem. It's an opportunity to look at your energy. It is an opportunity to look at you. Shift your, I don't fix you. I help you shift your energy. When you shift your energy, your problems, or what are perceived as problems, go away. I perceive them as opportunities to look at what no longer serves, to realize what no longer serves, and ultimately to get to a point, to where it doesn't have to show up as a freaking problem or an illness or a disease or a pain or drama or sadness or anger or whatever it is, for you to notice it. Ultimately, to get to the point to where you are just flowing, to where you're energetically shifting and removing what no longer serves before it surfaces as this freaking great big monster that needs to be dealt with. An opportunity to stop putting band-aids on and pushing your emotions and your feelings and your triggers down and ignoring them so that they just get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until you absolutely explode and have to deal with it. An opportunity just to look at that trigger, no matter how big or small it is. If it's like, I don't really, you get a little, let's get rid of that, so that it doesn't turn into a what the frick just happened type of a situation. Hopefully I'm making sense. Anyway, so today we are talking about tapping into your king or queen energy. And before we talk about tapping into your king or queen energy, I want to talk about and these are archetypes. We all have archetypes. I want to talk about your prostitute archetype. And I am probably never going to ever call it anything other than that again, because my mentor calls it that. And it triggers the fuck out of lots of people. I'm not going to lie, it does. But if it triggers you, like, let's look at that, because there's something there, right? Whether it's this life, another life, whatever it is, whatever you believe it is, or even if you don't know what it is, let's still have a look at that. But what I'm going to encourage you to do is, when we go into this energy is the energy of like overgiving. This energy is the energy of where you're betraying yourself, where you're not feeling worthy, where you are on a different level, right? I'm not saying you stand on the street corner, but where are you doing that in your very own house, in your very own life, where you are selling yourself short, where you are settling for less than? And quite often it all starts within us. So when you make a commitment to yourself, it happens lots with weight, right? People say, oh, I'm going to eat this and do this and work out and lose this. And when you don't even do it, often, I realized we create goals or things that are way too hard to attain, and we set ourselves up for failure. And then we create this energy around just like not showing up for ourselves. And when we're not showing up for ourselves, then it just kind of, that energy just bleeds out into all areas of our life. And so that's that energy. And the king or queen archetype energy is the energy where you know your worth, the energy where you don't doubt your worth, the energy where you accept nothing less than the absolute best, the energy where you are showing up at your best, the energy where you just absolutely don't doubt, don't fear. None of that stuff is coming up. The energy where you are just, I keep hearing bliss, but it's not the word that I want. The energy, royalty, right? So we're going to tap into that for each and every one of you, and we're going to get some messages, and we're going to shift some energy around it. But first off, before we actually go there, I want to teach you that one little thing that I said I would teach you. Because when we're doing this, you may receive some stuff, and you can toy with it, and you can play with it, and you can practice this, and you can take this throughout your day and your life and apply it. But when you want an answer and you're having trouble, because the old saying, get out of your head, the best way to get into your heart is to just put your hand on your heart. And when you put your hand on your heart and you take deep breaths in and out, and continuously take a deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. You're grounding yourself and you're connecting to your heart. And when you connect to your heart now, after you do that, and do that for as long as you need to, till you're just, if you have thoughts coming up, put them in a compartment. I'll get to you in a moment. I'll get to you in a moment. I'll get to you in a moment. If they no longer serve you, release you. I release you. I release you. And then if you have a question about something, you ask your question. It's yes or no. If you hear yes, it's yes. Trust it. And just trust that the resources will come through. It doesn't matter if it's something that seems unattainable at the time. The answers will show up. They might show up immediately. They might show up in a week. They might show up in a year. It doesn't freaking matter. All that matters is that, yes, okay, yes, that is what I'm going to do. Thank you. Give me the resources. It's that simple. If it's a no, it's a no. Let it go. Move on. Quite often we are plugged into those situations and a whole saying no when we mean yes and saying yes when we mean no. And that is creating these energy drains all around us. And when we have these energy drains coming in, or we have these sources plugged into us that aren't on the frequency that we desire, then all this information is coming in that's getting you off your path, and it's taking you further away from your yeses and getting you closer to your nos. Now that takes practice, yes. It takes practice, and sometimes it takes removing those filters and those rose-colored glasses, and it takes things like what I do in my Quantum Leap Academy, teaching you how to get outside of yourself, how to bypass all of your ego and your inner child and everything that comes up, and then how to work together. Bypass it to receive the answers, and then how to work together, or how to evolve as one. So today we're going to receive some messages. We're going to, first off, I just invite you to close your eyes. And we're going to ask that you receive any messages that are in your highest and best right here and now from the prostitute archetype within you. What's no longer serving you? Where can you shift? What do they want you to hear? What do they want you to know? What are they saying out loud? What are they screaming? What are they crying? What are they needing? And don't judge. Just allow the information to come in. Allow yourself to receive. And some of your logicians are coming in, and that logician is the part of you who thinks about it logically and is like, that isn't possible, or how could I do that? Needs to know the how, needs to know the why, needs all these answers. And that logician is also attempting to keep you away from hearing what your prostitute archetype really wants to say and really needs from you in order to create this shift, in order to shift from this and to receive the messages that are coming next, in order for you to tap into all that's available to you, all that is possible for you. And as we're receiving this, any beliefs, any emotions, any energy that no longer serves, we are clearing. So if you would like this clearing, I invite you to claim it right here and now. Claim it in the chat. Yes, please. Claiming it out loud, claiming it in writing is way more powerful than sitting there on your own couch and claiming it silently. And as we do this, they're going to show you, whether you see this or not, it's all perfect. You see it, you hear it, even if you feel, see, or hear nothing, it's perfect for you. Trust that it is happening for you. All of us receive information in several different ways. All of us have different perceptions. We're going to unplug from all of those sources that no longer serve. And we're going to bring all of your energy back in to you. And now I invite you to speak and receive messages from your king or queen archetype. Yes, it's okay if these messages are making you sad. These messages are amazing. And the sadness is only the part of you that doesn't believe it's possible or available to you, but just let that go. It's a release. And they're going to tell you how you get to show up, what's available to you, who you really are. You're going to hear your true desires. It's going to be a lot different than what you were receiving a few seconds ago. This is going to be your true desires. This is going to be true you. This is going to be how you get to show up in the world. This is going to be where you unlock your abundance. This is going to be where you claim it. This is the energy where you want to make decisions from. You don't want to make decisions from the prostitute and archetype. You want to make decisions from your king or your queen energy. This is everything that's available to you now. So anything that's coming up is available to you. And we're going to ask that the resources, the information, the people, the times, the places, the money, whatever that is, show up in the right and perfect way at the right and perfect time, and that you have that now. And I invite you just to trust, let go of the how, let go of the why, let go of the where, let go of the when, and to just trust and be open to receive these resources. And we're going to transmute any type of resistance or resistance to resistance or any interference from you being able to receive these resources. And when you're ready, you can come back, and I just invite you to practice that. This is something you can practice every day, all day, for the rest of your life. This is something that you will get better and better and better at. If you didn't receive information today, you might receive information in a week. If you received information today, you might not receive anything in a week. It's always perfect. And you will receive it at the right and perfect time. And that's when you're like, that's what that meant. And you totally get it, or you totally see it, or you're like, that's why that happened, or whatever. It's when all the pieces to the puzzle come together. However, you just bring in the information you trust, you use it to say yes to where you should be saying, where it's beneficial to say yes and to say no when it's no. Stop saying yes when you mean no. Stop saying no when you mean yes. Make decisions from the highest vibration and frequency of you. Don't make decisions. Make decisions from the queen or the king energy. Don't make decisions from the prostitute energy. Don't make decisions from lack. Make decisions from an abundant frequency. If you're not in an abundant frequency, don't make the decision. Do something to shift your energy. And just one last little tip, do something to shift your energy that's super powerful. Often this isn't, get a session with Michelle. Often it's something as simple as doing something for 30 seconds that makes your heart sing, doing something for 3 hours that makes your heart sing, whatever it is. Is it playing basketball? Is it getting a massage? Is it taking a hot bath? Is it looking in the mirror and telling yourself, I love you? Whatever that is, shift, choose it. Is it getting a hug from somebody? See how simple it can be? Shift your energy, make the decision. So with that said, let me know how that's working out for you. Let me know if you have any other questions. And just enjoy. And I will see you guys back here on Monday. I'm going to finish this on Tuesday. And on Monday, I'm going to bring in something freaking fabulous, as always. And it is going to be some energetic shifting around your physical body. So if you have, a sore ankle, a sore back, sore neck, if you have an infection, if you're feeling lethargic or tired or dizzy or headaches or whatever it is that you've got going on, I encourage you, I'll drop the link below in this, I encourage you to go to my website and get registered for that, because whatever is manifesting physically, and sometimes not sometimes, quite often, when we create these energetic shifts, the physical body is just a little more resistance to it because it's the lower vibrational part of us. We're creating these shifts on a higher level in our high self and in our soul, and then our physical body is just like a little bit behind. So then we go in and I do some energetic tweaks around the physical body, around the misalignments in the spine and the skeleton and the muscles or the organs or the glands or whatever it is. And we release some balls of energy that are causing irritations, or we reset some systems or whatever's going on in there. Then all of a sudden the shift happens within the physical body, and it releases that resistance too. So that's how come I incorporate this type of healing in my programs, right? And so we're just going to do that on Monday as well. And I invite you all there to receive that and to bring whatever it is. And you guys can join me and we will give you some relief around those areas to help you embody this shift in all levels of your being as fast and efficiently as we can. And then on Tuesday, we'll talk some more about claiming your abundance. Have a super fantastic day. Thanks for joining me.